Thanks for jumping on. It's nice to finally see you again. Last time I saw you, we were both in the pain cave, but I think you a little bit more than I was. Um, but yeah, that's something that was just surprising to me. I saw you running that, and I was like, I got to look this guy up afterwards. And I think I saw Mad Moose commented on one of your posts, and I follow them, and the rest is history. But yeah, Mason, thanks for jumping on. I'm excited to chat with you today. If you don't mind, maybe just introducing yourself a little bit, and then we'll kind of go into the conversation.
Yeah, of course. My name is Mason Wright. Thank you for having me on, by the way. Everybody calls me the Buff Runner. It's
a great name. Great name.
Yeah, you know what? I love it. It was a nickname that was given to me by a buddy. I used to teach it was like a cycling studio, but it was classes that took place on treadmill, like on assault treadmills. It was really cool. And so everybody started calling me Buff Runner. It's just kind of how it went.
Hey, it works.
And then I changed my Instagram name, and the rest is history. It ended up becoming the whole thing. But I wasn't always a runner. I used to weigh 285 pounds. I was a big defensive lineman and got into Spartan races because of my wife's family, and raced as a pro for a bit. COVID hit and started ultra running, and then really started ultra running when running across Utah this year. So
yeah, that's insane, man. We'll talk about that, but so it hasn't been too long of a journey then, like from the ultra marathon experience at least.
Yeah, no, I've been running. I started running in 2017.
Okay.
2018. Yeah. No.
Okay.
2017. I don't know. No, it's 2017.
One of those
I got married in 2018. There we go. We got it. I got married in 2018, so it was 2017.
Okay.
Yeah, so I started running in 2017, and then started ultra running in 2020. But honestly, like, I can't even say I've really been ultra running since 2020 because 2021 I had a massive injury and didn't run an ultra until 2024.
Dang. What happened during that time?
I tore my posterior tib, which is they call the runner's Achilles because of just like where it's positioned in the leg and how it functions and all that stuff. But yeah, I tore that running my first official ultra. I'd run a few, like I ran the Grand Canyon and I ran Kings Peak, which is the tallest peak in Utah, and a couple of different things like that. And so, but my first official ultra was a 90K that turned into a 100K because I got lost. And
oh, no way.
At mile 20, I tore my posterior tib and ran 40 miles on it torn and finished. I went from being top 10, from likely placing top 10 to getting second to last place and finishing with 30 seconds left before the cutoff.
That's brutal, dude. But holy cow, that was like, okay. So for me, like I've been ultra running for 2 years now, doing races. The highest distance I've gone is 50K, but April next year I'm doing Sedona. I think it's called the View, but they're hosting it. It's 50 miles. But I can't those distances are hard for me to fathom sometimes because it really is just so much time on your feet. And when you're at mile 20 and you feel that tear, did you know immediately there was an issue? And then how did you just push through that?
Yeah, my leg just started hurting really, really bad. And it wasn't like a pop because it didn't tear completely. It was a grade 2 sprain or strain, whatever the thing is. So it was like that instead of like that. And so there wasn't like a pop. It just my leg started burning. It was on fire. And I just kept running. And in my mind, I didn't know shit. The first time my first ultra marathon was running the Grand Canyon. I essentially ran rim to rim, but I had to do a modified route because it was in March. So it was the same. So it was 29 miles. And I ran south rim and then part of the way up the north rim and then back. And I went into the Grand Canyon with a packet of saltines and a Cliff Bar.
No way. So very little fuel.
Oh, dude, I didn't know what I was doing. I had no
Yeah.
idea what I was doing. Kings Peak, I finally had a better idea of what I was doing. It was 33 miles. I brought some gels, but I brought like one gel per hour. Like
Yeah.
I literally brought 9 gels with me. I did not bring what I actually needed. And then
Yeah.
this race, I didn't understand what a crew was. I didn't understand what pacing was. I didn't understand any of this, or like people
Yeah.
pacing me and stuff. So we have all that. I didn't do drop bags. I just shoved everything in my pack and ran.
Yeah.
And so just like it completely blew up in my face. On top of the fact that I got injured,
Yeah.
like
That's insane.
Yeah, that's its own thing with getting that injured. But yeah, so I had no idea what I was doing. I start going, and in my mind, I'm like, well, I signed up for this. Why the hell would I stop? Why would I quit?
Right.
That doesn't make any sense,
Yeah.
Like, I didn't even understand the concept of a DNF. And I thought about quitting, like I did tell myself, because I did understand how bad my leg was, or
Yeah.
understand as much as I could at that point. And I told myself, if I don't get athletic tape by mile 40, I have to stop, because this is just bad. Mile 48 station, and no aid stations had athletic tape. Mile 48 station, they had it, and I knew how to tape an ankle just from years of that kind of stuff. And so I taped my ankle up and kept running.
Just kept going, man. That's insane.
So it was more of like ignorance is bliss kind of thing. Like, I had no ideas, so I just kept going. I didn't know anything.
Right.
I didn't know what a DNF
Sometimes,
was.
I
didn't know any of that.
Yeah, I think with ultra running, you kind of have to lean on that a little bit, like the fact that ignorance is bliss. Like I know what the pain feels like for a 30-mile race, but I don't know what it feels like for a 50. And I'm just like, you know what? I'll just sign up, just go into it. The same strategy, but run a little bit longer before.
I always think of the Donald Trump thing of like, I have no strategy. There's no strategy.
There is no strategy. None here.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of the times, like, your strategy will get thrown out the window. Like you'll have issues come up, like tearing your posterior runner's Achilles, whatever it's called.
Posterior tibialis.
Tibialis. There we go. But yeah, I mean, sometimes you got to improvise. That's one thing I love about ultra racing is a lot of the times you just got to figure out how you're going to get through it. DNFing, of course, is like some people need to do it for health reasons. I think most of the times, like it can be avoided. So
yes,
like
unless you have a severe injury, like me.
Exactly.
You should DNF. Like like it's not worth jeopardizing never being able to run again. I got told by 3 doctors I'd never run again after that race.
Really?
Oh yeah, it was bad. It was terrible. So they told me I'd never run again, and if I did, I'd be like an old man.
That's insane. What was recovery like? Like, did they put you under the knife? Did you get surgery?
No. So the reason they call it the runner's Achilles is because in order to get the surgery, they have to cut your Achilles tendon. And so they have to make it worse. And so they don't really do surgery on it unless you completely tear it. They won't do surgery because it's not, even though a minor tear should get surgery, they do more harm than good doing the surgery. Even in complete tears, they sometimes won't do the surgery.
That's insane. So was it just lots of PT and like
6
rest,
months,
ice?
I didn't run. I went on one run for my birthday. I ran 3 miles on my birthday.
There you go.
And it was like a 15-minute mile. That was my only run in it was several months. Months.
That's crazy. What was going through your head at that point? Because, I know a lot of runners, myself included, fear injuries, like worry about it, think it's going to take you out. And, then like the doctors are telling you, which isn't very reassuring, like, hey, you're never going to be able to run again. Yeah. Like, what was going through your head at that point?
Honestly, I was just like, all right, we'll work through it, figure it out. Like, tell me I can't run. Okay. Like, I'm going to run.
Yeah.
And so, I've always just kind of had that mindset of like, all right, well, don't tell me I can't do something because I'm going to go do it. And so that's just kind of the mindset that I took into it, if that makes sense. Where doctors were telling me this, I'm like, okay, no, I'll figure it out. Like,
Yeah.
You don't know what I'm capable of. Like, you don't know who I am.
Right.
You don't know what I've done. And so, yeah, I just took that mindset, did my PT, and got back to it. And then coming back, I went to my bread and butter. I didn't just jump right back into ultras. I went back to my bread and butter of Spartans. Won a couple of Spartan races to get my mojo back, and
and then just kept going. Okay.
Yep.
I mean, I think a lot of the times, like, you have to just learn what, like you're saying, exactly, like, understand your body, understand what hurts, understand, like, if you can push it, then you should, like, try and get out of that. But yeah, I mean, I was told the same thing by doctors. Back in 2021, I was 135 pounds. They found like a tumor in my pituitary gland and all these things. So my hormones were shot, like all these things. And this actually got me into running, but I signed up for a half marathon, and I was telling my doctors this, and they're like, you will probably have a heart attack because you're so underweight. Like, it's not recommended. Do not do it. And so I didn't. But then, like, the race still sent me my medal and all these things. And I was like, Mom, you can't give that to me unless I actually do 13.1 miles. And I eventually did it, started getting healthy again. I'm on like hormone therapy stuff. But it was that moment where I was like, screw you, man. I'm going to do this. Like, I don't care what you say. But it was only because, like, I knew my body and knew that I was, like, starting to feel better. So I think you just have to, when those things come up, be like, okay, is that actually the result? Like, or is there something else I could do to push myself along a little bit more? So I love that mindset. Like, just go after it. Who cares? That's what this podcast is called, getting after it. It's getting uncomfortable, trying to, push past your limits and all those things. But, just went on a tangent, my bad, but,
no, it's a good tangent.
Yeah, lots of them happen in this podcast, but, I mean, what keeps you running? Like, do you just have a love for the sport? Is there, your wife's family? Okay.
No, well, it's funny because my wife doesn't really run anymore. Kind of my fault. Actually, fully my fault. I was just an ass when we first started running. I just got so into it, and like, I'm an athlete. I've been an athlete my whole life. So when I got into running, I got good at it quick, and so it frustrated her. And then, like, we did all of our training runs together. She was faster than me for most of it, and then eventually I got to a point where I was faster than her. And in my mind, like, we'd always done these runs together, and so I was just like, "What the fuck are you doing? Like, come on!" Like, I was such an ass. And then she stopped running. So I take full accountability for that. I will.
No, it's a dangerous.
I will cut myself some slack.
Yeah.
I will cut myself some slack that I was just a dumb, 19-year-old, 20-year-old. But still, totally my fault. Her family kind of runs, not really. They've done like a couple of Spartan races. I just like dove. I don't know what it was. I just dove all in, but I do love running. I think I love the competition at first, and now it's more of like, how far can I go? Yeah. It's less of like, oh, it was a fun race, let's sign up. Right. And more of like, okay, how far can we push? Right. Like signing up for this I signed up for that 50 mile like 3 weeks in advance. It was like 3.5 weeks or whatever.
That's insane.
I didn't train for it, and so I was like, I can run 50 miles, like, I know it's going to be hard, but I can run 50 miles. Like, I mean, hell, I did it running across Utah how many days in a row, And
that's insane.
So like, I'm like, I can totally go run 50 miles. It's just a matter of like, how far do I have to dig to get there? Yeah. And that's just that, honestly, is kind of why I run at this point. It's like, how far can I go? Yeah. Let's see what I'm capable of.
Right. There's who Cameron Haynes is? I assume you probably do.
Yeah, he lives freaking up the road from my gym, basically.
Really? Man.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Oh, not Cameron. Sorry, Truett does. Cameron lives in Oregon.
Truett. Yeah. But yeah, Cameron Haynes, he has this quote where like someone asked him that same exact question, like, why are you running? He's like, honestly, I'm just trying to find my breaking point. And it's a pretty admirable thing to do because you're going through pain that entire time. Yeah. And I think it's, something that's just like the human body is capable of so much. And I don't think we give ourselves credit to what we're able to do a lot of the times. And that can result in not reaching our potential. And it's just like running teaches me those exact things. It's like every time I reach something that I think is my limit, I could push it just a little bit further. And that's like the lesson that running's taught me pretty much everything that's bled into all aspects of my life. But I do want to talk about Utah because that sounds insane. Like I saw you guys have a documentary about it.
Oh yeah.
But
documentary on YouTube. I search Run Across Utah, will be the one that pops up.
Okay. Well,
it's called Worn Legs is what the actual documentary is called.
Cool.
But yeah, Run Across Utah.
Yeah. Tell me about that. How'd you guys get this idea? What was it for? And all of it.
Yeah. So this was, I just started my clinicals out in Missouri. Had I started them yet? It was actually right before I'd started them. It was like November. I started in January of 2024.
For what, by the way?
I'm a dietitian.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah, I'm a dietitian. And so, but it was like, around November, right as we'd like moved to Missouri. And I felt kind of lost. I have lived in California, but that's close to Utah. California is a familiar place just because that's where you travel living in Utah,
Yeah.
And so living there wasn't too crazy. Lived in Utah my whole life. And now I'm in the Midwest, in the most dangerous city in America, St. Louis, Missouri. And I don't want to be here. I don't like school. It was a means to an end, And so I think I was like trying to find purpose. And, I'd seen Hella Sidibe. I always forget that's how you say his last name. Do you know Hella Good?
Yeah, I know Hella Good.
Yeah, so Hella Good, William Gouge, a couple of Robbie Ballinger, these guys who would run across America.
Yeah.
And it's always been inspiring to me to like, oh, that would be so cool to do. And then William Gouge did his run, and I was like, I want to run across America. But I'm like, this isn't something I can just like do,
Yeah.
So I go to my wife and I'm like, hey, what do you want to do before we have kids? And because I want to hear what she wants to do first. And she gives me her things, and I go, okay, I want to run across America. And she's like, only if I get to live in Miami. And I was like, sounds good. I'll run to Miami.
Yeah.
So then I planned this whole route from Seattle to Miami, and I'd be the first person to ever run that route. And it was a whole thing. And in the process of I got to do stuff to prep for this. So I start coming up with like all these events, doing an ultramurph, doing an ultramurph, running for 24 hours around a track, running across the state of Utah, running around Lake Tahoe, like all of these like different things, like just coming up with ideas, knowing that all of them can't happen, like I know that all of them can't happen, but I'm still like having to come up with things and figure it out. And it's so funny because, before that, like the whole point of this was just raise money. I told myself if I was ever going to run across America, I'd have a reason for it. And I can't, because it's such a selfish endeavor. And so I'm like, I'm not going to do this without a bigger purpose.
Yeah.
And so I was like, if that bigger purpose ever comes to me, then awesome, I'll plan this. But if not, I'm not going to. And then I came to me of like, I'm going to run for single parents. It fits the backstory. My mom was a single mom, raised us, gave us the life that we have, even though she didn't really have anything. And so I'm like, I can't give back to my mom, so let me give back to everyone else. And so I was like, I'm going to run. I found this organization called the Single Parent Project. Little do I know, they're based in Utah. I had no idea. I just found this organization and was like, hey, I want to run for you. And so I planned this like whole run across America. And, I planned my 24-hour run to kick off Project 3434 is what I called it, because 3,434 miles is the route. Dang. And so I'm like, I planned this 24-hour run. So in the middle of grad school, I fly back to Utah, do my 24-hour run around a track to like kick off the whole thing and raise money and all that stuff. Yeah. And got my ass kicked in that. I got super sick and it sucked. Only got 70 miles in the 24 hours.
That's
and
brutal,
then,
man. I can't even imagine that.
Yeah, it was rough. And then I graduate from school, and I just said I want to run across Utah.
Hmm.
I feel like this is the next step, and so I just started planning it. And I again, it just started. Again, this is all in conjunction with the single parent project with all of this stuff, and so I just start planning this run. I called Jeffrey, he's a buddy of mine. We met here in Utah before he moved to Denver, and I'm like, hey, I'm doing this thing. You want to be my crew chief? A good buddy of mine's a videographer, the one that filmed the whole documentary and did all the social media. I'm like, hey, I need a crew, and I'm like, I need a videographer. So these guys end up being my crew, and I go through the whole 6-month process of creating a route and doing all of this stuff. It took me 6 months of like working, trying to find sponsors, planning the route, working almost 40 hours a week for 6 months, plus my training. That doesn't include my training.
Insane.
My training
That's
was another
crazy.
like 20 to 30 hours a week. It was brutal. And then also work on top of all of it. And so, yeah, I do that. And then right there, I run across Utah.
There we go.
So
that is sweet. How long, couple questions. Like when you were planning the run across America, how long did you think that was going to take?
To plan or to do the run?
To actually do the run.
I think I set it was 69 days because I was going to start on one of my best friend's birthdays, and my birthday is 69 days away from his. So I'd start on his birthday, and he just moved from Seattle, but he lived in Seattle at the time. But I would go Seattle to Miami Beach, 69 days. It was like 45 miles a day is what it equaled.
That's insane.
But yeah,
that was sorry. Going back to Utah. So yeah, what was that like? Where'd you guys start when you went on the run?
Yeah, so I started just north of Logan, Utah, right at the Idaho border. There's a little town called Tremont that's just north of there, and then ran south and ran on the west side of Utah Lake because you can't run on the interstate in Utah; it's a felony. And I think most states it is. But
I think so.
But yeah, so like we had to take these like weird back roads and ran from there, and then I ran just outside of St. George, Utah at the Arizona border, 421 miles.
That's crazy, man. And how long did that take you to complete?
9 days and 17 hours. My record just got beat. What?
No
on
way.
Saturday.
Really?
Someone beat my record by 8 hours.
Jeez.
Yeah.
That's mean. Why would they do that?
You know what? I helped him though.
Oh, that's fair then.
Yeah, I helped him. I gave him my route. I gave him all my stuff, and I helped him navigate along the way. Like there were a couple points where they almost got lost, and their crew called me, and I was like, "Yeah, no, you go this way. Like, don't go that way. The route I know says this, but you need to do this." And so I helped. It's funny. I probably cut about 8 to 10 hours off of their run.
That's crazy. There you go.
But yeah, it was. I was really happy to be a part of Adam's run, and we've become really good friends from it. I got to run about 20 miles with him when he was doing it.
Oh, that's cool.
I wish I could have. My wife was traveling during his run, so I couldn't really make it work to do more. But yeah, no, it was cool to watch. It was cool to watch someone else do it.
Yeah,
like I have this crazy experience, but it's so niche. Like, who the hell's done? People have done big runs, and you can talk to people about the big runs, but like, who's run across Utah?
Yeah,
and like there've been a handful of people who have done it, but it's been like over 15 years.
Yeah,
and they had such different experiences than I did. I talked to two of the guys, and like before I started my run, and just such different experiences, and so. Adam and I shared such a similar experience with the social media side of things, and he ran my exact route, the exact same route. I just handed him my route and said, "Run this." And it's funny, like we found the same things and saw the same things and felt similar things and stayed at the same campsites. Like, like we had. It was so cool just to like rerun it. Essentially through the mind of someone else. It was really, really cool to be a part of his run because it just made mine so much more special.
Yeah, it's got to be something that's like, it's such a, like you said, it's a niche experience. Like not very many people are going to be able to know what that's like, but having someone who's done something very similar to you, it's like you get it, you understand.
Yeah. Dude, this
But
is a
what was
side
your
note, and
experience
this
like?
is
Oh yeah, sorry, go
this
ahead.
is a random side note with Adam, and I'll answer that question. Um, Speaking of niche, so we are the only two humans to have ever had this conversation. When I was running, I found a shooting target on the side of the road that was it was a Lego man, like the shape of it was a Lego man. It was like yay big, weighed like 12 pounds. It was massive, just a big sheet of metal that was in the shape of a Lego man. Eyes cut out, like it looked like a Lego man. And I found it and I ran with it for a minute because I wanted to keep it. I was like, oh, it's just so cool.
Yeah,
it was so heavy, and I'm like, screw this, drop it on the side of the road. Yeah. Adam, I let him use my Starlink, so he had internet on the run. Adam's dropping off the Starlink. This is literally a day and a half after he finished. He's dropping off the Starlink, and we're just like, we talked for like 2 hours that night. He's like, came into my house and we were talking, and he's like, yeah, dude, I found this like Lego man. And I'm like, dude, the shooting target thing with like the handle on the head. He was like, yes. I'm like, dude, this is great. Like, but it was so funny because it's like, we're literally the only two people to have run across Utah, to have found this thing in the exact same spot. And I picked it up and I ran with it.
No one can say that.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
He kept it.
Oh, really? He took it. He picked it up.
Yeah, because it was like right next to his RV. So it's just so funny. Like such a niche. Again, just back to that like niche.
That's
cool,
so funny.
like,
That's awesome.
Getting to share these random things. What was your question again, though? Sorry.
No, that's great. I mean, just asking about like what your overall experience was like things that it taught you or anything about it.
Well, this was something that Adam and I talked about is like we had obviously we ran the same run, had similar experiences, but where they were also vastly different. Like I was really suffering for most of that run. Adam paced himself better than I did. I came out the gate swinging, and I paid for it later. And I told him, I was like, pace yourself, dude. Those first 2 days are brutal. They will suck the soul out of you before you even start, really.
Jeez.
And so he paced himself much better than I did. I did 2 50-mile plus days back to back on the first 2 days. And so it just took it out of me.
Yeah.
They're massive days with 10,000 feet of climbing. Like, it's just crazy stuff.
That's brutal.
And so it was like 6,000 feet, but still a lot.
I mean, that's a lot. Yeah.
And so, so I was in a lot of pain. I had a really severe Achilles injury that I had to power through. We thought my leg broke on day 6. So mine was very painful, pretty miserable in a good way, which I know sounds weird. Ultra runners understand.
Get that.
But yeah, it's this weird. Yeah, mine was just so intense and painful. And I think also something that made mine a little bit more difficult is I had a crew of 2. So it was just like Jeffrey and then Tanner was filming. So, it was this like, small crew, small van. And so we had a very different experience, but the same experience where Adam had a big crew, lots of resources. He paced himself better than I did. So he didn't experience like that same amount of pain. I also had some gnarly weather, not
when'd you
precipitation weather. It was wind. I had 3 days of, so one day was like 20 to 30 mile per hour winds. The next day was 40. And then the next day was like 40 to 60.
Dude.
And we actually had to hunker down, and I had to run through the night that night. And it was still like 40 mile per hour, all headwinds, by the way, all headwinds.
Yeah. That's insane.
Even like running up a canyon at 2 a.m., I had almost 40 mile per hour headwinds. It sucked. It was hell.
That's brutal.
No, I would love to run it back I'd love to run it back with the weather that Adam had. It would be glorious. But that's
what time of year did you do it?
I did it in April.
Okay.
He somehow had better weather than me in November. I don't understand how.
That's insane.
Doesn't make any sense whatsoever. But and I mean that's part of it. Like I could go run it again. I could go run it in June and it rain every day.
Right.
That's just how old, especially multi-day events. You don't get a choice in that. And so, it's not discrediting what Adam did at all. It's still hard as shit.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's insane.
Yeah.
Anything like that concept itself, you tell someone I'm running across the state, they'd look at you like you're crazy. They'd be like, what the hell did you just say? You're running across the state. So yeah, I mean, all that aside, like it's still a challenge that not many people can complete. Like that's difficult as can be.
It was crazy. I think like the best way to explain that run is it really hurt and it was really hard, but was also so special. Like getting to run across like my home state and see it in such a unique light and a unique setting. It's something that most people's an understatement. Like people don't get to experience this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like not very many people have run across their home state.
Yeah. Not
so
I could probably cool I don't know. Yeah, there's probably 100 maybe that have done it in the history. I have no idea. But.
Yeah, I don't know either. But yeah, so it's just a really cool experience.
Yeah. What did it teach you about yourself during that time? Because obviously it was hard, incredibly difficult. Like everything was going against you with the weather and stuff.
Yeah, I learned that you can push way further than you think. Way further than you think. Like again, day 6, we thought my leg was broken. I couldn't put any weight on my leg at all. I was jumping on one foot. I could not put weight on my leg. Literally, they drove me 20 feet from the shower to the van. Like our van, so you have the bathroom, van, bathroom doors.
Dang.
And that, like, van, building, bathroom doors. And they picked me up and drove me back. It's in the documentary. It's hilarious. But I was in so much pain. And, it was just like I wanted to quit. And I have to give huge kudos. A buddy of mine, 2 friends of mine, Nate, his name's Nate Williams. He is an unknown man in the ultra world. He has beat Goggins. He has beat McKnight. Dude has podiumed at all the 200-mile races. Dude's a beast. He's a beast. He doesn't have social media, so no one knows who he is. He just shows up, beats these guys, and leaves. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. He fuels on freaking Coke and Fritos. I don't understand it, but
that's insane. Really, that's his diet when he runs.
Pretty much, yeah. But he, big inspiration of mine. Obviously, he's a really, really good friend of mine. Big inspiration, and him and his girlfriend, who's also a big ultra runner, came out and ran like a day and a half with me, roughly. And that night, I was gonna quit. I was in so much pain. I cannot explain to you the amount of pain I was in. I've never experienced that kind of pain. It was 10 times worse than tearing my posterior tib.
Oh, I thought probably your entire legs. Yeah, like it feel it
shot all the way up, like into my hip and like back.
Oh,
like,
dude,
it was a mess. And so I'm like thinking about quitting. Jeffrey has fully planned for me to quit. Tanner is filming all of I had like obligations for brands I had to meet. And so Tanner is like handing me stuff like, here, do this. Like, you need to film this. So I'm like in the van in a ton of pain filming like brand stuff because I have to meet these obligations and do this stuff. And so like I hadn't, like my mind was telling me to quit, but it was like that, like behind the scenes, like, dude, why or what is the reason for this? Like, you are in unexplainable amounts of pain. Why stop? It wasn't like, oh, I'm tired, I want to quit. Like, it was a genuine, like, my mind telling me, like, bro, we are screaming at you for a reason.
Yeah.
Like, stop.
Yeah. Things are wrong. You're running in the red.
Yes. Jeffrey and Tanner fully preparing to leave. Jeffrey, like, starts working on, like, accommodations and all the different things. And Jeffrey's also fighting his own demons. Freaking, he got food poisoning that night. And so he's freaking just unleashing hell in the bathroom.
Yeah.
And so it was a rough night.
Yeah. It sounds like it.
Yeah. So, but Nate tells me, he's like, don't make a decision in the dark. I was like, all right, sounds good. We'll just do this again tomorrow.
Yeah. We'll wait.
Yeah. And in the morning, it was still dark, so I can't make a decision then. So I'm like, you know what? One day. I can go one day. even if it's 10 miles, I can go one day.
Yeah.
So I was like, we're going to give this one more day and we're going to see how this goes. And so I wake up and I start moving in insane amounts of pain. And the day just kept going and kept going. And that day was windy as hell, super windy that day. And I just kept pushing and kept trucking. And Nate and Anna left about halfway through that day. And again, I just kept moving one step at a time. Like that was the whole mantra of the whole day. Like, you can take one more step. Can I take one more step? Can I take one more step? And I just continue to go and go and go. But I also set a goal for myself. I was like, if I'm going to do this day, we got to hit 40 miles. Got to hit 40 miles. You know, and I had the goal of like, I just need to finish the day, but it was also like, I can do this. I can hit 40 miles. Yeah. So we had about a 5K left, and I wanted to do it in my time allotment. And I had 28 minutes left in the day of when Jeffrey and Tanner cut me off, like every day. They cut me off. I can't remember. I think it was 13 hours that day. Because they gave me an extra hour of sleep, so it was 13 hours that day. And but I like at this point I'm like, no, I have to hit 40 miles. So I don't give a shit. Let's go. Yeah. So I picked up my poles and I just started running as fast as I could and ran that final 5K in 23 minutes.
No way.
And then after that,
dude,
just crushed the rest of the run. And I don't even know if that answered the initial question, but like that was the experience. What you just heard was the experience of pain and continuing to push and continuing to put everything out there. And I told myself that I had to leave everything out there because you don't know what's going to happen. I got hit by a goddamn car on day 4. Like,
did you really?
Yeah. And so you don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
You don't know if you're going to get hit by a car. You don't know if your leg's going to break. You don't know what's going to happen. And so I promised myself that every single day I would leave my soul on that road. Because in the event that I couldn't continue, I had to know that I gave absolutely everything. And so that night, it was the same thing. It was, I have more in the tank. Let's go. Yeah. And I ran.
That's amazing. It's freaking inspiring, man. I feel like I need to go run right now.
Dude,
like that is awesome.
I don't know if anything will ever top that moment. Because that morning, Jeffrey and Tanner had to leave me because we didn't prep for the day because they thought I was done. Yeah. And so that morning they had to leave me for like an hour or something. They had to go into town. They had to get gas. They had to get water. Our water tank broke, so we had to like have just like 15 gallons of water on the ground at all times in the van. Because I was going through like 4 to 7 gallons a day.
Holy cow! And
so we just always had to have a ton of water. And so they had to go, and so I had this just unbelievable experience that morning where I just got to see the sunrise. There's no I loved it because it was for me and only me. There's no cameras. That whole thing, I had a camera in my face. You know?
Right.
Which is great. I'm so happy I have this whole thing captured, but I'm happy I have this one moment that's just mine. No one else. No one else in the entire world got to experience what I experienced. It is my experience, and it was so special. And then to end the day with a fast 5K, especially considering, and the amount of pain that I was in, like we all just sat there in silence. Like
just like there's no way that just happened.
Yeah, we just sat there in silence, and Tanner was like chasing me with his camera, trying to like keep up, and like you hear in the video, you just hear him like like in the background of the camera, and because that's all. And Jeffrey's just standing there, and we're all just like standing there. What just happened?
That is so cool.
Insane. It was such that was the run. Yeah. That is the best way to sum up that run.
I mean, that's exactly what you said. You know, it just, you learn how to push your body way further than you ever expect to. Yeah. And I hope to be able to do something like that in the future. Like I would love to be able to, you know, raise some awareness about, you know, cancer. My father-in-law passed from that, and that's a big thing that we do in our family. Yeah. but it's just like also the small moments, like what you said, you got that sunrise just to yourself. And I think that's why I love running so much, because you do get little experiences like that, when you're in the mountains by yourself, or, on a trail in the desert. Like, it doesn't matter where you are. You'll just have these little moments where you're like, you know what, this is for me. Like, the lessons I'm learning, the place I am, like, this is meant for me. And I just love that. But so after that day, how many more did you have to go until you were finished?
Technically 3.
Okay.
It was like a little less than 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that was out towards like Milford, Utah. Yeah, and then the next day was when we had to run through the night. Was that next day? Because we had like 40 mile per hour. It was actually 60 that day. It was dangerous. It was very dangerous. Dude, I was getting like sprayed with fertilizer from like farm fields, and like, dude, it was so bad.
Yeah,
the
that's
van
horrible.
literally was like rocking in the wind, so we just had to stop. So mile 20 that day, which was actually the mile 300 mark, we stopped, took some naps, and then kept on running through the night. We ran until about 2 a.m. that night. And yeah, it was brutal. I fully lost it. I totally crashed out that night. Because dude,
I would crash out every night, man.
40 mile per hour headwinds in the middle of the night, running up this it was the steepest climb of the whole run.
Yeah.
And I'm just like fighting for my damn life going up this freaking hill, and just climbing this mountain pass. And we got to, we hit mile 40, and I was just like, I threw my poles on the ground. I did my push-ups. It's in the documentary. I like freaked out. I was so pissed. And Tanner, my videographer, Jeffrey knows. Jeffrey's an ultra guy. He knows. Tanner has no experience. He's never experienced an ultra marathon. So this was his first exposure to ultra running. And so he's like freaked out. Cause I'm a big guy. So like, I'm not the scariest dude, like it.
Yeah. No, dude, you're a big guy. When I saw you running, I was like, this guy's running an ultra. That's impressive. Like, that's hard. But anyway, sorry.
But yeah, so like I'm freaking out. Like, fully, I'm not going to say these things on here. So you can go watch the documentary if you want to see it. But yeah, and so Tanner's like, oh, like, what is happening? Jeffrey's just like going with the flow, picking up my poles. Like, he's like, I know what's going on. Yeah, he knew what was going on. And, but then the next day, my legs were pretty heavy, and I mentally struggled on day 9. It's the day before the last day. That climb took it out of me, running into all these winds. So day 9 was honestly like the blurriest day. It was just kind of like weird terrain, weird location, and just like weird feelings. And then day 10 was, day 7's the most special, without a doubt. But day 10 was epic. It was epic. 56 miles, the final day. Ran for almost 18 hours that day. It was 17 hours and some change. And 56 miles, and it was intense. We got lost. It added a handful of miles to the day. The day was only supposed to be about 50. So,
jeez.
This is what I helped Adam navigate through. Was like, no, don't go this way. You go this way. Run down this road. Hop this fence, and you'll be there. I ended up having to run on I-15. I had no other choice.
Really?
It was actually super scary. I had about 3.5 miles on I-15. It was legal. And so because there was no other option, I could legally run on I-15. So if I'd gotten pulled over, they might have drove me, which would have been a huge bummer.
That would have sucked.
But thankfully, a cop did pass me, didn't stop. So, I was able to get off I-15 and continue on my way. But yeah, that was just so like that push, man. When I had like 10 miles left, I was sitting in the van at like about mile 46. I had I'd sit there with my feet propped up on the thing and
elevated and all that.
And it's just me and Jeffrey. Tanner had to leave because this run took me longer than it was supposed to. And so Tanner had to go back to work. He tried to get it off and his boss wouldn't let him. And it was a whole thing. So it's just me and Jeffrey just soloing it together that day. And we're both just sitting there. And we're just like, dude, this is almost over.
Yeah.
I think this is crazy. And it's funny because Adam had almost this exact same experience and this exact same spot on the run. It was at the top of River Road in St. George, Utah. So really, everyone knows the road. If you've driven in St. George, it like goes down and kind of wraps around. Top of River Road, and it's about 10 miles from the border, mostly residential. And we were just like, dude, like, we're here. Hey, this is crazy. Like, this is wild. We got 10 miles left, and then finish the day. And
that is crazy.
I ended up dropping the final mile. It was pitch black because there's no lights for the last 2 miles because it goes out into the absolute middle of nowhere. It's BFE, and 2 miles left, and we're making our way to the top of the hill, and then it was all downhill. The final mile was all downhill, and it was like a slight grade. It wasn't like crazy, it was just like a slight grade, but you could almost see it from the top of this hill about a mile away. It was pitch black, so you could like kind of see the lights of the cars of like the people that were at the finish line. And I wrote a poem that a buddy of mine helped compose into a song, and he sang it. And I'm the background singer, but I'm not a singer.
That's cool.
But yeah, so I listened to that. Because it's a very I wrote it while I was in school of just like what running does for me. And I turn it into like a little shanty. It's based off of, I was inspired by, do you play video games?
Yes, a lot. Or I used to a lot, but
I love video games. So, Bethesda,
me too.
Like Skyrim, Oblivion, that kind of stuff.
More familiar than you probably know. Yes, I love those games.
Skyrim is my favorite game of all time. I've put thousands of hours into that game. Anyways.
Oh, yeah. I've been every class, all that stuff. Anyways.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. So Starfield, then Starfield. So,
of course.
So in Starfield, when you're flying around, you come across a guy whose ship's broken down and you can give him parts. And but when you get into the solar system, you listen to him sing this shanty. They call it the Starfield shanty. And it's about him lost out in space. And I love that they did it because like that's what these like... It's essentially like these are the original explorers, just like people out in the ocean. You had all the sea shanties because that's how they told their stories. And so it was cool to like, they added this to the game, but I took that shanty and I wrote it into running. Everything is based around running. And so I listened to this before I ran that final mile, and I dropped my poles in the van. And I was like, let's fucking send it. I ran a 550 mile, the final mile.
No way, dude.
Yeah, Jeffrey almost didn't make it to the finish line. Like he was so used to having like 15 minutes between like 15 to 20 minutes. He was sitting there and someone calls him and it's like, dude, he's coming down the hill. So Jeffrey, I'm like here, and the finish line, the finish line's here, and Jeffrey like did this as I was crossing the finish line, and, like hurries and like in motion, like parks the van, grabs this camera, and gets out of the car.
That's amazing.
And like got the footage of me crossing it like the last second. It was so cool to finish in that fashion. And like everyone told me like, dude, just like split it into 2 days. It's okay. And I'm like, no, I didn't do this for the final day to be easy. Like,
right.
I don't give a shit if I have to run until 6 a.m. We're going until this is done.
Yeah. Then you just send it and do a 550 mile. That's insane.
And it just comes down to you can go so much further than you think.
Yeah.
420 miles deep into this run. I ran a 550 mile.
That's insane, man.
Because in my mind, I was like, I don't have to do this again tomorrow.
Yeah.
So what am I holding back for?
Yeah. It's like, this is it. Go all out.
Yeah.
I'm curious if you can share just a couple lines from the shanty. I'd love to hear them.
Yeah.
If you know.
I kind of have the song memorized, but when you ask me on the spot.
Hey, that's okay. That's how I work too. I live in my Apple Notes.
Yeah. It's on Spotify.
Oh, really? Okay. What's it called?
Worn Legs. There we go.
Worn Legs.
Yeah.
All right.
Worn Legs. Yeah. So let's Oh, the lyrics aren't on here. Well, good thing I have it in my notes.
There you go.
Yeah. So, yeah, I wrote this like little poem. Where is it? So yeah, there's a lot that goes into this song. Where is it? All notes. We'll find it. Don't worry.
No, I'm not worried.
But there is a lot that goes into this. It's it's very emotional. It's very much for like myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very much for myself, but I also feel like a lot of people relate to it. Where's the whole thing?
I mean, while you're pulling that up, I do the same thing. Like I write a lot. Typically, I try and write every day. But whenever I write about running, it's like I'm not trying to write that to inspire other people to go do things. Like I don't share my journal with others, and it's mainly just for me to be like, what do I think about running? Like what's important to me about it? And yeah. Anyways, did you got it there?
You know, I almost wonder how. I wonder because I'm using this mic.
You could probably put it on there.
You tell me how this sounds.
I feel the old blacktop beneath my feet as I trudge on all day till I'm done and beat. My shoes are in rags, tattered, torn up and bare, but I trust my heart not to skip or flare. Way out on the pavement, way out on the road, way please keep me on running as long as my one legs can go. Far down the old roadside, so wide and so free, my weary feet aching still carry me. Through dust and through storm, brave the heat or the rain, I will keep my stride till I feel no pain. Way out on the pavement, way out on the road, way please keep me on running as long as my one legs can go. Way out on the pavement, way out on the road, way please keep me on running as long as my one legs can go. On the pavement, way out on the road, way please keep me on running as long as my one legs can go.
That is awesome.
Yeah, so my buddy is an amazing singer. I don't know what that random song was that started playing next, but he's an amazing singer. He's been making music for a long time. And it's funny because I came to him to like make it into like almost a shanty.
Yeah.
And we were singing it like almost shanty, like, you know, much more like upbeat. And I was like, this isn't what this is. And all of a sudden it just turned into that. And it was really cool. But like it's all about like, you know, for myself, like in 2023, I had a big cardiac event, and we didn't know, like, it happened from running, and we didn't know if I'd be able to run anymore. And so it was like this whole thing that happened in 2023, and it was a really big deal. So like, there's a line in it that's like, I trust my heart not to skip or flare. And, you know, like that's a big thing for me of like,
yeah,
you know, like I'm trusting my body. I'm trusting that it will continue to bring me forward. And then, you know, please keep me on running as far as my worn legs can go. And it's like there's a lot of pain that a lot of us are experiencing with running, not just physical, but mental. Yeah. And, you know, there's the saying that, you know, you're either running from something or towards something. And it's that line is kind of behind that of like, just keep me on running as far as my worn legs can go. I don't care how tired my legs are. I just want to keep running.
Yeah.
I don't want to stop. I want to chase that thing, that feeling. I want to escape that thought, that feeling. And so it's like, please just like keep me running. Like, I don't want to stop. Just like, let me keep running. You know, it's my shoes are in rags, all tattered and torn up, tattered, whatever the line is. You know, and again, my weary feet aching still carry me. You know, we all have experienced that. We've all experienced that pain and that suffering that we feel physically, and your feet hurt and your legs ache, and you just keep going. They keep carrying you forward. You know, and then again, this line goes kind of into the same thing of like, as far as my worn legs can go, the final line of the second verse is, I'll keep my stride till I feel no pain. And you'll never not. And so it's that same thing of like, I'm just going to keep going. I'm not going to stop. And that's like this song has very deep meanings. Especially for myself. And I think something that I love about this is that you can interpret it in your own way. Like, that's my interpretation of it, but your interpretation might be something different. And that's why I think this is so cool. And this wasn't my intent. My intent wasn't to ever turn it into anything. But then with the documentary, I was like, I need to make something out of this. Yeah. I have to share this with the world somehow. And so we sat down and we made this.
I think it's beautiful, man. And it really does like sum up what running is. And I think, you know, it's a lot of the times many of the runners are like, yeah, I hope I can keep going. So I think it's probably something that we all could use during a ultra run or anything difficult, you know, is listen back to the shanty. But, you know, I really love that kind of stuff just because it's very personal, but two, it shows that there are deeper meanings. And, I don't know. I think I commented on one of your posts just saying how running's a great metaphor for life. Mm-hmm. And, you know, that
was song, that today? That might have been today.
Today or yesterday. Yeah, either one. But that song is like a great example of that because you said it. Like, it can take a different meaning. It can be about running, but it can also be about life. Like, people who are going through hard times. It's like, I just don't let my heart give out, you know? And I think it's something that I've learned from running that you can apply to really everything, and that's why I do it, is to teach myself that I can do more. And it seems like, you know, you're in the same boat, and I just think it's really, really inspirational what you're doing. Like, everything from the Utah run to, you know, not training very much for the 50 miler, but still going.
Dude, it was so much more than that. Not training. Like, I was building this gym. I was building all the equipment. Dude, I came into that run so sore. I was exhausted.
I can't imagine. Yeah.
I was exhausted. I mean, imagine doing 7 extremely heavy 12-hour workouts.
Yeah.
And then running
insane.
And then running 50 miles. That's what that was.
With no
and I was sick.
Anything.
Dude, I woke up so sick. I could not breathe at all. I could not breathe out of my nose. I was coughing.
Jeez.
I was an awful. It was awful. I was so sick. It was my Jordan flu game. That's why I made the joke that this was my Jordan flu game, because I was so goddamn sick. And the only thing I wasn't doing was puking. I had a fever. I had everything. And I crushed it. 12 hours.
Yeah, that's awesome. It's amazing. I do remember I had a memory of you when we got to that aid station where they were cooking quesadillas and all those things. And I think we were both filling up our waters or something, but you were like, I'm going to come back around the second loop and get some of those fries. And I was like, I respect them, man. There we go.
Yep. Nope. I came back around and got those fries. They were cold at that point, but they were amazing.
Anything tastes good when you're doing that stuff. So, but yeah, I think honestly, it's amazing. And yeah, talk a little bit about your gym. That's awesome. You launched it last week, right?
Yeah, we just opened. We're still like preliminarily not open because we last second needed to get a permit for our fire system.
Okay.
Just didn't realize we needed it. It's just a mistake. So we're like half open, half not. There's like certain services we can't offer. So we're in this like weird limbo. It'll get figured out. It'll sort it out. I'm not too worried about it. We already have 20 plus members. So we signed up a few more today. So I can't remember exactly where we're at.
That's awesome.
We're already doing great, already making money. It's an amazing space. I'm sitting in my office right now, which isn't fully decorated, but like I've got this wall all set up. This wall has nothing right now, but
you'll get there.
Yeah, we'll get there. I'm gonna do some cool stuff with that wall. I still need to finish. Like I got my big ass calendar.
There you go.
The big ass calendar.
Jesse Itzler.
Yeah, I've got my big ass calendar that I'm gonna hang up right here. I obviously have all my license. Not all. These aren't all the license plates. So a lot of people. I've had people ask me because I actually auctioned this off for charity, and it sold for $500 for charity, and then the guy who bought it gave it to me.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
So it's really cool. I gotta have it. He's actually one of the owners of the gym as well.
Oh, nice.
And yeah, he bought it and then he gave it to me to hang up in here. So
that's so cool. What is the story behind the license plates? I don't even think I asked you that.
Dude, day one, I found 13 license plates. And so it became a thing. Like it became a bit. Like the whole run. It became like literally I would write these journals. I'd used Instagram as my journal every night. That was just like it allowed us to have a post. It was like a third post for the day. It was a carousel, so you guys could see all the photos. But then I also I acted like it wasn't an Instagram post. I acted like I was writing in my journal so that you guys could genuinely see and feel what I was seeing and feeling. And so, but in that journal entry at the beginning, I would put how many miles I ran and how many license plates I found. And then I would go into the journal entry and it became like a bit. Like I would say, we posted 3 times a day, every day for the whole run. And I think like 4 or 5, no, I think it was 6 of the posts were about the freaking license plates. Because it became awesome. I found a baker's dozen on day one. Like that's crazy.
Yeah.
Not even looking that hard. So, ended up becoming a thing. And so what I did, this isn't all of them. I still have some others at home that just didn't make it into this. But what I did is I turned it into the shape of Utah. I don't know if you'll post a video of this, but it's into the shape of Utah. Yeah, this will be a video. Okay, well then I'm going to carry my computer over there. No, I can carry the camera over there, which is even better.
Let's go. That is sick.
So, yeah. Okay, there we go.
That is so cool.
So, yeah, so this is the mural right here. I know it's trying to follow my face right now. But this is it right here. It's not quite all of them, but you can see, oh, no, sorry, my camera is a little bit different view than there. But yeah, you can see it's got some of the like motorcycle license plates. That one right there, the rusty one, is from the 1960s. I had to do a bunch of research to figure out like what it was.
Dude, I thought that was a piece of cardboard for a second.
No, this is a rusty license plate.
That is cool, man. That is way cool.
But yeah, rusty license plate.
Dang.
But yeah, so it's set back up. But yeah, no, it's really cool. That's and it's awesome. In the shape of Utah. Actually on the ground, I'm going to hang them up on my wall. I have my poles, which these are the poles from the run. This one's broken. This is the broken pole, the one that broke on day 8.
Oh my, jeez.
Or day 9, whatever day it was. But yeah, the pole snapped. You can see on the shelf right there, those are my shoes that I ran in.
Holy cow.
There's a railroad spike that's from, I had someone like kind of authenticate it. But this railroad spike is from, they think it's from the Union Pacific Railroad from the 1800s.
No way.
Yep.
Holy cow, man.
I found that. This is like one of the headbands that I wore, and then just some like random sign that's back there that I found as well. I have a bunch of this stuff hanging up in here just because it's obviously, a huge accomplishment.
Yeah. What a great way to like remember it too. Just with all the little things that you find along the journey. Like that's what makes it. That's what's awesome.
Oh, that's so cool. But yes, that's the story behind the license plates, and I did you a little show and tell there as well.
I love it.
But yeah, the license plates just kind of became a bit, and so I had to auction them off and make it into an art piece, and that's cool.
That's so cool. Yeah, man, I think everything that you're doing is pretty awesome. Like you're literally getting after it. You're living it. And super inspiring talking to you today. Like I love that shanty. I'll probably add it to my running list, even though, it's yours, but I'd get pumped up listening to that thing.
It resonates to people. It's like, is it the most well-produced song in the world? No, but that doesn't matter. It's the story behind it. Yeah.
Right.
It's called Worn Legs. It's on Spotify. And the artist the producing artist is Tanner the Hylian. Because he's the one that he's the one that's singing, so we put it on his profile.
Awesome.
But yeah, Worn Legs by Tanner the Hylian on Spotify. It's also the name of my documentary on YouTube. You can also just search Run Across Utah and it'll come up.
Right on. And what's your time to plug it? What's your handle? All that stuff.
Buff Runner.
Buff Runner. Okay.
Across the board, Buff Runner.
And if people wanted to come check out your gym,
it's in Bountiful, Utah. It's called Gain Your Movement. It's in Bountiful, Utah. So if you live in Utah and you live up here, come check it out.
There you go.
And you can come work out for free and check it out.
Yeah, you'll be in good hands. But
yep.
Yeah, seriously, man, I really appreciate your time coming on tonight and just sharing your experience.
Thank you for having me.
It's been awesome.
Man.
It's been one of my favorite podcasts. Just listen to you share your story. And I mean, you were like, running is hard. And having you tell the story about going for almost 10 days in Utah, like that's what it's all about, though. It's like learning that you can push your limits. And you're setting a great example. So I appreciate it, man.
Hey, thank you. Hey, you know the saying, like, double it and give it to the next person?
Yeah.
Well, the next challenge is double it and give it to myself. So,
hey, there you go. Hey, I'll run some miles with you if that's the case.
Yeah. We got 1,000 miles loading right now. I'm not going to tell you more details than that, but.
Oh, I saw that on your profile.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
No more details than that, but we got 1,000 miles loading right now.
Okay, I'll stay tuned. I'm ready. But
it's gonna be awesome.
Well, Mason, you're the man, dude. I really appreciate it.
Hey, thank you.
And yeah, as everyone else listening, really appreciate you guys too. And as always, keep getting after it.